1999, San Diego State welcomed a new faculty, and I was so happy to welcome her. We share something in common. Both of us experienced the University of Guam on the island of Guam. And when I was teaching in Guam, Zhong wasn't even a student there. That shows me how young I am, and that shows me she was a baby when she entered college. But she came to San Diego State, and we became very good friends. And I never really realized about her mother's work until recently. Her mother, Mrs. Zhong, passed away. A person with great, great artistic talent. It took us a while to figure out how we could get the actual masterpieces of the four beauties of China to bring them here. We not only brought 4 of them here, we also brought 2 male figures. So these models are here today, shipping over from China. It took a lot of efforts, but we're so happy they're here. So I want to welcome all of you to look at these beautiful, exquisite pieces, but who better to tell us about the stories behind them than the daughter of Mrs. Zhong. So let's give it up for Zhong Mei.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zhong. Thank you for that introduction. So my name is Mei Zhong. I came to SDSU in 1999. It's been more than 25 years, I hate to admit, that I've been here. So it's an honor and pleasure to be here to introduce part of the exhibition, which is my mother's work. So I want to start by thanking Dr. Li Chang of the CCC, the Chinese Culture Center, for hosting this event. It's been many months in the working. I am very happy that we are here. I also want to thank Mr. Muting Huang for your kind support and assistance. Every time we need something, we go to him and he gets it done. I really appreciate that. I also want to thank all the friends and family who are here and many colleagues here. It's an honor to have you here. All right, my role here, as Dr. Zhong mentioned, is to introduce my mother's work. So part of this whole exhibition is what she did. She made many Peking opera dolls. When she passed away 3 years ago, just about 3 years ago, she left in her collection these 6 figures in the house. So when Lily mentioned that we were going to be doing this exhibition, I thought this could be part of it, and it did become part of the exhibition. So my job today is to introduce the artist, which is my late mother, and present the stories of these 6 Peking opera characters so that you know who they are and why they look like that. And then introduce one of our performers today, which is Dr. Yan Ma, who's going to be singing an actual Peking opera piece for us. Okay, so to begin, we are going to start with the artist. That's my mother. Her name is Zhong Youqin. I took her last name, that's why I'm also Zhong in my last name. She was born in Tianjin, China, and but most of her working days were in Beijing. So she was born in Tianjin. She went to Hangzhou to attend a art school, art college, studying sculpture back then, many years ago. And so at the end of her career in Beijing, she basically was working a lot with organized exhibitions of different forms of art in China and showing them around the world. And so that was her work. I always say that, those of you who know me, my field is intercultural communication. She's done that many years ago with actual actions. She took the culture abroad to show the Chinese culture and his doing intercultural exchanges. So she, at the end of her career, she was the director of the division that did that intercultural exchanges. Let me see, I recall that she would be organizing like sculptures as a theme or potteries as a theme, traveled to many, many different countries for these kind of work. Not her own work, but organized Chinese cultural artworks. And her connection with Peking opera was from a very young age. I think she told me from the age of 4 or 5, a very young age in Tianjin. Her father would take her to these theaters to watch Peking opera shows. And at such a young age, she just became so impressed with the beauty in these shows. And hence the choices of presenting the 4 beautiful ancient Chinese women, and that's her choice. So she had, I remember when we were, because I came to the US at a pretty young age, but when I was living with them in China, she always talked about that one day I would do something about that, presenting the beauty in the Peking opera. But she never had the time with the busy work schedule. Eventually, when she retired in 1997, that's when she found the time to establish a studio to work on these Peking opera dolls. She actually got the patent to do these artworks. And they were, what you see today are big and small, are all the same size. But she actually worked on large, like almost real person-like sizes, and small sizes like table countertop kind of displays. So there are many in her collection, but these are the ones that she loved the most, and she saved them at the very end. That's how we got them here. Okay. That's a little background. And I want to mention that these Speaking Opera dolls was one of the exhibitions that she did. Towards the end of her career, she was able to organize her own works and took them abroad. These were shown to more than 20 countries before her retirement. It should be after her retirement, after she organized these. And then some of these were used as state gifts for visiting international officials in China. And I know some of the pieces were collected in museums, including the Chinese opera, what's the translation? 国家大剧院 in Beijing, the Chinese opera, National Theater in China, in Beijing. Yeah, so she was very proud of these works, and I'm proud of her for doing the work. Okay, so with that, I'd like to introduce, here are some pictures of her working and putting the dolls together, and that's meeting with some of the Peking opera performers. And this is one of the most well-known ones in Tianjin, Mengguangmu. Those of you who know Peking opera probably know about this. Yeah, the figure that they're looking at is Zhong. That's a famous character that he played, and so this is how my mother worked. She would go to the performance groups and talk to the people who actually played that role to get the essence of what these, what the expressions, what the movements was the most representative pulse to have. And so she made that, and she gave one of those to the performer. That's the occasion when she met with him. Yeah, just a little anecdote. So I want to move to introducing the Peking opera characters, starting with the 4 beauties in ancient China. And the very first one, I think most people know that the very first one is Yang Yuhuan, also known as Yang Guifei. I'm not an expert in this, so I'm going to have to read these. We found these descriptions about the background of the story of the characters. So during the Tang Dynasty, Yang Yuhuan was taken by Emperor Xuanzang as his noble consort. Her elder brother bullied his fellow officials and became bitterly opposed to General An Lushan. An Lushan later launched a rebellion, and Emperor Xuanzang was forced to flee the Chang'an capital with consort Yang. While on their way, the imperial troops staged a demonstration. They killed Yang's brother and ordered Yang Yuhuan to hang herself with a white silk cord. So that's a famous scene. And then, so the show ended with 8 years later, the rebellion was finally suppressed, and the addicted Xuanzang, lost in a daze, you can imagine kind of imagination, arrived at an immortal realm of Penglai, where Yang Yuhuan, dressed in a splendid attire, came to greet him, and these two renewed their earthly love. So that's kind of the plot of the story. Okay, that's the first one. The second beauty presented here is Xi Shi. King Fuchai of the state of Wu conquered the state of Yue with help from Wu Zixu. King Goji of Yue discovered a beauty in a village named Xi Shi. Xi Shi is kind of the synonym for beautiful woman in the Chinese culture. And he decided to present her to Fuchai. Enchanted by Xi Shi's beauty, Fuchai ignored the remonstrations of Wu Zixu. As Fuchai became increasingly absorbed in wine and pleasure, the affairs of the state steadily declined. Eventually, the state of Wu was destroyed by the state of Yue. Okay. All right, that's the second beauty. The next one is Diao Chan. So Xi Shi Diao Chan, very often we talk about them together. This play tells the story of the late Eastern Han Dynasty, when the Minister of Works, Wang Yun, seeking to eliminate the powerful minister Dong Zhuo, he used Diao Chan to set in motion a chain beauty stratagem, inciting Lü Bu to turn against Dong Zhuo and ultimately killing him. I think I'm not knowing a lot about the plays. I see a pattern of the role of women being used in politics, right? I even recognize that. All right. Next, this is the fourth beauty called Wang Zhaojun. During the Han Dynasty, Wang Zhaojun was a peerless beauty. When Emperor Yuan ordered a portrait of a princess to determine an arranged marriage with the Xiongnu government, Zhaojun refused to bribe the court painter called Ma Yanshuo. As a result, the portrait of her was ugly because she didn't spend money to bribe him. So the emperor chose her for the marriage for being the least attractive, based on the portrait. Right before her departure, however, the Emperor Yuan summoned her for an audience and was astonished by her true beauty. And yet, it was too late to undo what had been decided. Regret. So in this play, the events depicted focus entirely on the circumstances of Zhao Jun's journey beyond the frontier, filled with sorrow and righteous grief, and deeply moving in their emotional resonance. That's the story behind these four beauties. Okay. And that's my mother's selection is based on beauty, really. She spent her life chasing beautiful standards and wanted to do these to show her passion. All right, next we have two other characters that are men, as we mentioned earlier. The first one is Yao Qi. The play tells the story of the emperor of Eastern Han Dynasty, Liu Xiu, who summons the meritorious official Yao Qi to court. Yao Qi's son, Yao Gang, is bound and brought in to plead guilty after beating to death Guo Rong, the emperor's father-in-law. So taking advantage of Liu Xiu's drunkenness, consort Guo, the daughter of the father-in-law, falsely conveys an imperial edict and frames blamed the Yao family for treason. And so there was a General Ma who stormed into the palace and forces Liu Qiu to grant a pardon. But even after the pardon, Yao Qi and his son were set out on the battlefield as punishment while still bearing their guilt. So this is about grievance, the show. All right, last but not the least, really not the least, because Cao Cao is a very popular character in Peking operas. Cao Cao, the story is like this. After a defeated battle, Cao Cao, chancellor of the Han Dynasty, was eager to make a comeback and wanted to recruit capable men from all quarters. Among those he recognized and promoted was a renowned scholar called Yang Xiu, whose service brought notable political achievements at first, and yet this relationship ultimately led to a tragedy. Without going into details, Cao Cao and Yang Xiu were both extraordinary figures of their age. However, their dual natures made it impossible for them to get along and work together. So due to personalities, Yang Xiu was ultimately put to death. So how unwilling for Cao Cao was to kill him, yet he was compelled to do so. And how unwilling Yang Xiu was to offend Cao Cao, yet he repeatedly did so. So the two exceptional talents, two proud souls, through their ruthless collision, one fell too early and the other was left mired in pain and despair. Very dramatic, very big emotional show. So these are the stories behind these 6 characters that you're going to see, 3 on that side and 3 on this side.
Thank you, Professor Zhong. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to introduce a beautiful Chinese musical instrument, inspired, of course, through the travels of the Silk Road. And from the Silk Road, where today we talk about Persia, Iran, we have the beauty of pipa. Today we're so happy to have Liu Lu, who of course is an award-winning pipa musician with over 20 years of experience. She has won many beautiful awards, including the award going with Yo-Yo Ma's Silk Road Band, Silk Road Ensemble. Her distinctive blending of Chinese and Western musical instruments and traditions has earned her numerous honors, and we are so happy to welcome the gold medalist, Ms. Liu Lu.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Lily, and thank you so much, Moon Team, for all your support. I'm really honored to be here and to perform 2 songs. And the first piece is called "A Moon Lead Over the River." So it will depict all the 4 beauties as Professor Zhong has shared. The second song will be depicting like the male part of the Peking opera. I will play for the first, "Moon Lead Over the River."
Chinese. We had the opportunity to invite Professor Ma Yan to join us in the Chinese American Experience and Beyond lecture series as a discussant. We got to know her work, and so now she's expecting. And so we're going to do a welcome to Professor, the two of you, Professor Ma Yan. Yeah.
Thank you. So very, very quick introduction. The performance is done by Dr. Ma Yan. The name of it is Ode to the Pear Blossom. A very quick introduction of the performer. Dr. Yan Ma grew up in mainland China, where at the age of 7, through an after-school program, she began training in Chinese opera. Yan holds a PhD from the Asian Theater Program in the Department of Theater and Dance at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. And she currently works as a teaching track professor in the Chinese program of the Department of Language, Culture, and Literature at the University of San Diego. We're honored that you're here, especially in this condition. Please take care. But we are in for a treat. The piece she's going to be singing is, I venture to say, the most popular these days of a Peking opera song. I love it very much. So when I found out that she was going to sing this one, I was very happy. So let's enjoy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
to invite Liu Lu and also Zhong Mei. They all happen to have short names. Zhong Mei, Liu Lu, and our beautiful Ma Yan to come forward. So we would like to also invite our Dean, Barry Chung, and also our Vice President Agnes Wong Nickerson, and also our Vice Associate Dean. Please come forward. Kurt Winderman, please come forward. We have a small presentation to make. Yes, please. And Muki will help. Yeah. So I don't know how you're gonna do it, but maybe you can present to the dean, and he can make the presentation to Liu Lu. Thank you. And then would you present to Zhong Mei?
Yes.
And we have to wait for Ma Yan. And please stand here to take a picture together. Ma Yan, Nina. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that later. All right. Please, let's take a picture. Now, do you mind, our young performers, would you join us also? Take a picture. Now we have Ma Yan back. We want to make sure Ma Yan receives the gift from our Vice President, Agnes. Yes, Agnes. Thank you. We will take a picture too. 谢谢. So the two of you receive. 谢谢，太好了. Take a picture. I know some of you came in a bit late. The most important part of this program is we have 6 beautiful models, handmade, stitch by stitch, by Mrs. Zhong Mei's mother. 3 of them are over on this side, and 3 of them are on the other side. The total number is 6. 4 beauties, 4大美女, 4大美女. 陈瑜、落叶、闭月、羞花. And then 2 gentlemen, 1 Cao Cao, 1 Yao Qi. So you can get a very close look at these beautiful models. This is what I call national treasures of China. Thanks to your mom, and thanks to you. And so now we have 4大美女. We have 1 more 美女. Shirley, please come forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shirley, and I'm so happy to be here. And I'm also a San Diego State alum. Go Aztec! But I will not tell you the year I graduated. I'm giving my age away. I'm so happy to be back on the campus. I don't recognize the campus since I was here so long ago, but so happy to be back. And more importantly, to be so blessed to enjoy and be immersed in this wonderful culture event. I am Chinese. I do know a little tiny bit about Chinese opera, but today, thanks to our speaker, thanks to the beautiful music and the singing, I feel enriched. So I hope all of us feel that way. But this afternoon doesn't have to end now. What we love to do is for you to take a little of today's memory home with you. And the 4 beauties can follow you home all the way. In order to do that, if we hold up the sign, we do have a few packages for you to carry them home and help the program, the Chinese Culture Center, and do a small donation just as a token to show our love and our support. So we do have the limited edition, which includes 4 of the stickers of the 4 beauties. We did not include the men because the 4 beauties are beautiful to bring home. And then we have the collector's item of 4 stationery card of the 4 beauties along with the 4 stickers. So our limited edition is only merely at the cost of support of $20. Our collector's items are at $50. And if you wish to take a little bit of today's memory home, we do offer also 1 card and 1 sticker at a merely small price of $10. So after today's program, as you go approach with the delicious, beautiful food that we have laid out for you, we are right next to the table with a QR code to scan. We will take your credit card. We will certainly take cash, and hope you do support the program and show our appreciation for all the work Dr. Lily, our speaker, and everyone involved today to celebrate our enriched culture of the Chinese opera. Thank you so much.
Now you see we have a barrier because we have a screen. Behind the screen, we have beautiful, beautiful, homemade mostly, Chinese dim sum and food. So you can never leave the center without drinking some good tea and some beautiful, beautiful food. Now I want to thank my own sister, Caroline Chin. I also want to thank Liu Wenjuan. I also want to thank Wei Li and Shirley for their wonderful work. So, is it possible for you to turn around and look at the gorgeous, gorgeous display of food? Eat as much as you want, and you can even take some home. 我们这个中国人的习惯是好客的。我们希望今天来到中华文化中心的人都能够带着满满的心回去。我们的点心是由刘文娟女士特别为我们做的，还有我们的伟丽，还有我们的 Caroline 跟 Shirley 一起帮忙。So please enjoy a lot of the food and drinks, but also take a look at the beautiful, beautiful exhibition across the hall.